All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Hardcore Pin, how you doing? From the UK, appreciate you, man. I know you're. It's early. It's early where you are, but thanks for being here. You can tell the background looks different. I am still in the unfinished area of my basement. The streaming rig and everything is still set up for Golden Tee, and there's a chance that we might stream Golden Tee again. So I didn't want to break it all down and everything. So I was like, you know what? I'll just do the chatting stream from here. So we got two beautiful backgrounds here, Zombie Yeti artwork, just gorgeous, and then a nice concrete wall. So it just enjoy that background. I hope everybody enjoys it. For everybody that's watching this after the fact, my name is Joel. This is the Flipping Out stream Wednesday night on the Pinball Network. We stream every Wednesday, or I stream every Wednesday from 10 to midnight Eastern Standard Time. And if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to come and be a part of it live. That way you can chat it up, be a part of the conversation. Yeah, TPN, the Pinball Network, we try to do the best we can at providing you, entertaining content throughout the week. Never go wrong with Zombie Yeti artwork. 100%. So here is our list of streamers. We have Jordan and Becca on Sundays. They've been out the last few weeks, but hopefully they'll be coming back soon. Frisco Pinball, Hadi on Mondays. He's been sick, but I think he's turning around. So, yeah, definitely check him out. Frisco Pinball on Mondays. Mike, Lisa, and Carter on Tuesdays. Very entertaining family. Here we are, Wednesday, the Flipping Out channel. Is TPN a large group of different streamers in? Exactly. So, the Pinball Network. You can see, like, right down here, I have twitch.tv/flipping out. So, that's my other channel. But we all stream on. So, like, each one of these as an individual Twitch streamer. But we all contribute to the Twitch, the Pinball Network big group stream, if that makes sense. So, you're with Flipping Out. I just emailed Zach at your place. Yes, at your place. I am with Flipping Out. I'm not employed by Flipping Out, but I stream for Flipping Out. So, yeah, Zach's on vacation. Hopefully, he'll email you back soon. Gonna order a Amanda for you. Hey, nice. Tell him, if you reach out to Zach, tell him Joel sent you. Why not? Just why not? Thursday night would be Straight Down the Middle with Chuck Wirt. Fantastic dude. Check out Straight Down the Middle or Chuck Wirt on YouTube, I think. We'll find it. But he just did a bunch of these short videos explaining different games in a tournament strategy. Chuck is awesome. So definitely check him out. Or it's like KY Pinball or something. NCK. Crap. I got to figure that out. So sorry about that. Followed by George Don't Panic Flip Thursday night. And then usually George is great. Super entertaining. Super good player. And then Saturday, Jedi McMuffin sometime over the weekend. Balls of Steel Sterling, I hope you're doing well, man. I'm glad to see you here. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike got some good love there with his alien stream the other day, which was awesome. So we do what we do because we have 8 amazing sponsors, and we're going to actually talk a lot more about these tonight. But Comet Pinball for all your LED needs. Definitely hit them up if you need to light anything in or around your pinball machine. Hit up Ryan and his crew. They have a huge Black Friday sale coming on Friday, so definitely check them out. Measle Mods also has a Black Friday sale coming this Friday. They make some amazing mods that you can add to almost any of your pinball machines. Incredible stuff. Scorebit, Jay and his team make a really cool device where you can take pretty much any pinball machine and add it to the internet. It's standard in all JJP games and soon to be American pinball games. Stern Pinball, makers of some incredible pinball machines, including Bond, which was just announced, or not just announced, it was like 2 months at this point, but it's coming out soon. Fantastic machines. Speaker Light Kit, Doug at Speaker Light Kit makes some really cool products to light the speakers in your games. And I'll tell you, I have them in my Deadpool and Turtles. Freaking love them. And I just got Godzilla and it looks bare without him. So I'm waiting on a kit from him for that. Really amazing products. Super great support. Reach out to Doug about those. Pinball photos, some incredible photography that you can use to print off different things to hang in your game room. Really cool pictures. Check out his website. Zach and Nicole Flipping Out. I'm super grateful for them, not only to be able to stream for them, but borrow games from them. If you need anything pinball related, new, used, accessory, anything like that, reach out to Zach. He will treat you right. He is a good dude. Yeah, reach out to Zach and Nicole at Flipping Out. And last but not least, Victor with Pinmonk, makers of some really cool products, including the Silent Fan mod, which replaces the fan in all your Stern modern power supplies to make them silent, and then all the flipper fans to keep your fans flipping very consistently, nice and cool all throughout your gaming experience. So there are our sponsors. Yeah, so we have 4 of us. There's 4 of us that are going to be chatting it up tonight, and here we are. So Yeah, Mike is here. Mike is here. Is he the same Zach from Straight Down the Middle? Yes. So Zach Mini does Straight Down the Middle with Greg Bone. He also does Flipping Out. That's his actual business. And then he's also on TPN, so he does the pinball show. Zach does a lot. Zach does a lot, but
He's everywhere.
yeah,
He's
very
everywhere.
good dude. So we're gonna go around. We're gonna introduce who we are, what we do, and then what the last game of pinball was that we played. So, Hadi, go for it.
Hi, I'm Hadi, Frisco Pinball. The last game of pinball that I played was probably Godzilla. It's been a while since I played pinball. Physical. Virtual, last thing I played was Bride of Pinbot, the machine. And we have a competition going on this week, so Congo was the table, and that's a lot of fun. Really underrated table. Better pinball table than the actual movie.
I have one right here.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good time. But yeah, so I stream probably 5-6 nights a week. But I've just been trying to get better. So the actual last thing I streamed was today. I played some Mario Kart on Twitch, old Super Nintendo game.
Nice. Yeah, you put in work, Hadi. I appreciate it. It's always get notifications. It's like Frisco's going live. It's like, dang man, he's Here
Feel
I
free
am.
to turn those off.
No, it's great. It's like here I am doing one night a week, pushing 2 nights a week, and it's like, whew. But no, you do a great job. So Hadi, thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate it.
Problem.
Craig, go for it, man.
Yeah, Craig Bobby. I do the Top Stories news segment on the Pinball Show with Zach Meny and Dennis Kriesel, which airs on Mondays generally on the Pinball Network, where we discuss the news, market trends, game reviews, production updates. We do it all on the Pinball Show. So always a lot of fun going on there. The last game I played was it was technically Godzilla, but I'm going to give everyone a little PSA this week. And I actually changed out for the second time my balls for the Avengers. And I was shocked at how much of a difference it made when I changed the balls on that game. Again, this is the second time I've changed them, and I've been keeping the playfield all nicely polished and keeping it running and all the ramps and all that stuff. But I thought, I'm just getting a lot of scratches on these balls, and I think it's just time. So I replaced them, and I couldn't believe it how much the balls were whipping around and how much it changed the feel of that game all over again for me. And all of a sudden, it became so much more dynamic and entertaining. I was hitting shots that I wasn't able to hit, even though I've had the game for a couple years. So probably I should have changed them maybe 3 to 6 months ago. And I'm starting to think if the game is, well played, you should probably change them, a couple of times a year, I would say, just to keep everything flowing. And I think to prevent, wear on your playfield as well as those balls get scratched up. I think they can potentially cause damage to your flippers and to the playfield and everything. So if you haven't changed your balls in a while, it's time,
Check your balls, everyone.
Just do it. Check your balls. Change them up.
Brian,
Polished. Keep them balls polished.
Yeah, keep them polished too.
Yeah.
Kaz, good seeing you, man. Thanks for being here tonight. No, Craig, I totally get it. Every time I used to order, and we're going to talk a lot more about like things. That's something we're going to talk about after the break is just like good gifts to buy pinball people or like good things to keep in supply. But pinballs is one I used to like count like, okay, I need 6 for this game and this for this game and order just that amount. The reality is you should just always have extras on hand.
You should.
Yes, like rusted old balls are going to really hurt your playfield, but none of our modern stuff's going to be that. But it's just, it's having something, no scratches on balls are a good indicator. So scratches on balls are good. I mean, you'll see there's just a very different, like if you take a brand new ball and hold it up to one that has, some people say like 250 plays. I don't know. I don't know if there's just a chance of just taking them out, giving them a real good cleaning, maybe a polish, that kind of thing might be all you need, but they're so cheap. It's not a bad idea. Just normal maintenance. I mean, I don't know. Mike, you got a lot of games. Do you have?
Yeah, I tend to try and keep a stock of balls to replace in the games. I usually try and do it at least once a year, but I know a lot of people. I actually have a friend who tumbles his balls when they get scratched. He puts them in the tumbler,
Huh.
and he says it works. It makes them come out nice and shiny again. So I don't. That might be something to try. I've never tried it, but
Interesting.
Yeah, if you have
Yeah.
enough games, just invest in the tumbler instead.
yeah,
But
yeah. But I mean, it's like if you tumble them enough, it's taking
Wearing the-
microscopic pieces
yeah.
off the ball. So eventually, I think, wouldn't it affect the weight of the ball, or I don't know.
yeah, that's why Craig's hitting all those shots, because his balls are so small. You know. Well,
Yeah.
Craig, I meant to ask you. So you were a one pin house for a long time. It was just
Yeah.
Avengers, only Avengers, and now that you have Godzilla there, are you finding like the fact that you can rotate between the two games? Do you think it's making you like a better player because it's challenging you in different shots, or do you like get all zoned in on Godzilla and then realize you forgot some of the shots you had in Avengers or
Yeah.
vice versa? Like, how do you think that's
I do
helping or hurting
think-
you?
I do think playing Godzilla has made me a better player again, even though I think the Avengers, if you play Avengers a lot, it forces you to become a better player just in itself in playing that game. But Godzilla, again, just it's such a great shooting game as well that I just think it takes your reflexes up to another level with that game.
Yeah.
And when I went back to the Avengers after playing Godzilla exclusively for a few hundred plays, I did find that I was better at the Avengers again. Now I still haven't even come close to beating that stupid game, but but
Yeah.
but I like Godzilla because it gives you the illusion that you could potentially beat it. You know, like you have as much, so much fun with it that it gives you the illusion that you could actually win at it at some point. And I probably never will, but
Yeah.
at least from a score perspective, I feel like, I've cracked 1 billion a few times on it now. So I'm feeling like, okay, maybe someday, somehow I could do this.
Yeah, Ray Day there in Pinball. That's Raymond Davidson. He's saying, can't wait for me to be a 3-pin household. That's because we all know
Yeah.
Rush is on the way. So I'm
Yeah,
one
where
day,
is it?
Someday.
Someday.
It's lost somewhere on the
Yep.
Canadian border.
Yep.
What is it? Merce? Is that Merceau? I'm assuming, yeah. 1-pin house. I totally get it. I was a 1-pin house for a long time. And when that pin is kicking your butt, it's a lot harder to want to push that start button.
Yeah.
But what's really nice, as soon as you add a second pin, Merce, got it. Okay. As soon as you add that second pin, it's like, all right, and then you just step aside, you play a totally different game. And that pin may piss you off more. So then it makes you want to go back to,
Go back.
And so yes, you're totally right. Totally a first world problem. We should all be fortunate that we have one pinball machine, yet alone more than one. So I totally get what you're saying. Conti playing a different game definitely makes you feel better. 100%. I have noticed that now that I have Godzilla. I got really used to post passing with like Turtles and Deadpool and even TNA. And like you can't post pass on Godzilla.
No, not at all.
I know you think a
Yeah.
stern bottom, like an Italian bottom, like you think that's the same, but it's not. And it's just even the flippers, the way the flippers are on Deadpool are different. The way they're kind of drooped down a little further than they are on Turtles. So absolutely, just being able to adapt is going to make you a better player for sure.
Well,
So,
yeah, the thing with Godzilla, like you're all right, making you feel like a better, like it's making you a better player is I feel the same way in the sense that you can't post pass, right? Like post passing is a big part of controlling the game. I feel like I'm a control player, maybe almost to a fault, like too much of a control player. Godzilla doesn't let you control it that much. So what I'm finding I have to do is if I want the ball on the other flipper, well, you're going to have to hit, the left ramp if you want the ball to come to your right flipper or vice versa, in order to hit the shots that you need to, as opposed to like an easy little post pass. So it forces you to have to make your shots more if you're wanting the ball to come to another flipper. So
100%. Or you have to potentially hit a shot on the fly. Like you're cradled up on the left, you want it on the right. Well, you hit the right ramp and it's coming whizzing around and it's going to go to the right, but it has too much speed. You can't stop the ball. So you're taking your shot. It's like, it's always the freaking left ramp, right? It's like, I got to hit the left ramp. I'm cradled on the left flipper though. How's this going to work? And it's like, you're hitting the right ramp and then you're hitting the left. I don't know. It's so great. It's so great. Retro Game Gal, how you doing? I like this.
Are you guys saying you can't post pass on Godzilla?
No.
No.
Apparently Hadi can. Is that like an LE only thing? Is that what you're?
I'm gonna have to go check my VODs. I swear I've like called it out.
Tried.
It's not near. If you can, it's nowhere near the
As easy
normal
as
like bam,
okay.
like real quick, and it just goes straight over. Like I've
I
done it
just I
before,
feel like
and
I've
it's a
done it,
big yeah.
and I'm making sure I'm not going crazy that I've never done it. Now I'm questioning.
It is
Try
very
it. Try
yeah.
it.
All right,
It's
I
but
will.
it's very it's either way. It's very clear, and I know Keith made I think it was on the Flipping the Script interview that he talked about the way that he moved the slings like further up or something. Like the slings are further away from the flippers than normal, and that's just a layout he prefers. I don't know. It's definitely messed with stuff. So flooding hard. It's not tough like Rush. Yes, yeah. Anyone watch the sweet free play floor? Yeah. Hey, nice job, Ray Day. Yeah, Ray Day won it. But yeah, I need to go back and actually watch the VOD. But anyway, so Craig, thank you, man. Thanks for being on here. Mike,
Great to be here.
go for it, man.
Well, I'm Mike, and as Joel mentioned earlier, I stream on twitch.tv/pinballers and on Tuesday nights here on TPN. And the last game I streamed streamed and played was the Alien.
Yeah.
That's the LV version of the game. We just unboxed that on Saturday. And we streamed it on our channel on Monday, and then again yesterday on TPN. So we've been playing a lot of the game. I'm enjoying it so far, and it's a good game. It's the art package on the LV is just incredible. Like I don't know if you can actually see it there, but I mean the art is good on the SV as well, and you can see it's got the two little beacons there that aren't on the SV as well. There's no gameplay difference between the SV and the LV. The playfield is exactly the same. There's nothing different. Everything that's different on the game is cosmetic. It comes with a shaker motor. It's a different art package. It's powder coated. It's got like the side armor is in the shape of like a xenomorph.
Nice.
It comes with a dog tag. I'm trying to think. There's lit up sort of side blades on it. Like there's LEDs on the bottom of the side blades
we can
that light
see
it
it.
up. Yeah,
see it even in the background.
So it lights up the game pretty good in a dark room because the playfield is dark in general. Just there's a lot of blacks and dark blues and dark colors in the playfield, so it needs that light, which is good. And then the beacons are the other part that come with it. Aside from that, that's the only difference between that and the SV.
So what? I know. Yeah, visually, I would say visually, and Mike's camera goes out. Yeah, no, I know visually the game looks insane. Like I know that's a super atmospheric game. The sound package. That's my only frustration. I've only played Alien twice. One was at a bar and one was at a show. And I know the sound package is amazing, but I can't hear it.
Yeah.
I can't hear it. So it's actually being able to watch it on streams where you're doing some sort of direct capture or Mike doing a Travis impersonation. Yeah, thanks, Dr. John. Yeah, where your camera goes out. No, the game looks sick, looks incredible, and I know now that you have it in a home environment, I'm assuming the sound package stands out even more, or that atmosphere type of, I don't know, being able to play it in a controlled setting. Is it? I don't know. Does it exceeding expectations? What were your?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had a chance to. I have a couple of friends who have the SV, so I've had some time, a few games here on theirs when I've been over at their house. And so now having it here and being able to actually like sit down and spend more time with it, the sound package is incredible. Like the theme integration and the sound is amazing. All the music, it's tense when you're in modes, when you're playing multi-balls, the call outs, it's all the characters from the movies, with the exception of
Ridley.
Ripley, right? Ripley from what's her name? Sigourney Weaver.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess they weren't able to get the rights to use her likeness or anything in the game. It actually doesn't really take away from the game at all. There's a lot of cool scenes. You've got like the classic lines. If anybody's watched any of the Alien movies, there's a lot of one-liners in the movie that are sort of iconic now that people repeat. They're all in the game as well, and the gameplay itself is good. It's not overly deep. but it's deep enough.
Game over, man. Yep.
Yeah, that's the best call out in the game. When
Yep.
it's game over, man. So the way the game works is you actually, when you start the game, you can pick between two, the Alien movie and the Aliens movie, and there's 5 modes for each, 4 regular modes and then sort of like a mini wizard mode, and then there's 5 modes down the middle, which are all actually multi-balls. So in order to get sort of through the game, you got to pick a movie, go through all 5 of those modes, and then you go to the second movie and go through all 5 of those modes. And as you're doing that, you'll get multi-balls. There's 5 different ones you can get as well, and you get those as you're playing the modes, and you can stack them together and whatnot as well. And then eventually, once you've done both movies and the top 4 multi-balls, you will play the final wizard mode, which is called All Out War. Which actually we ended up getting to. Carter got to in our stream on Monday.
Yep.
And I got to it yesterday, and I beat his score.
There you go.
I finally have one up on him in that game. So we got to the end, but that doesn't make the game easy by any means. It is a challenge to get there, and it's fun. So like I'm looking forward to playing it again and getting back there. A lot of games I play, if a lot of times if I get to the end or I've completed everything, it's like I'm sort of done with it. I don't really play it much anymore. But that is one that I know that I still want to get back to and play. There's a lot of stuff to learn, little nuances with the rules and stuff like that for the modes. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So what are your what are your thoughts on just the mechanical aspects of it, like the shots or the flippers? Like, how do those feel compared to a Stern or something else you're more familiar with?
So the flippers feel a little different than what I'm used to, or what anybody would typically be used to with like a Bally Williams. I figured like a Bally Williams and Stern is kind of like the standard for flipper, the way they feel. They don't feel bad. They just feel different. The buttons are not, there's not as much tension when you're pushing the buttons.
Yep.
It feels like if anybody's ever played like an old Donkey Kong cabinet or one of those old Nintendo games with the little push buttons there, it feels very, there's not a lot of tactile feedback with the buttons when you're pushing them in, as opposed to like the Stern, you can feel the pushback or the tension. There is a mod that my friend actually makes, and he gave it to me, that I'm going to put into the game that does give the buttons that feel. So I'm going to put that in and see if that makes a difference.
Do the buttons, are they micro switch or is it a leaf switch? Like
it's a leaf switch. It's a leaf switch,
Huh.
but the leaf switch is so for flippers there's leaf switches, but then there's also a thicker metal piece that when you push the button sort of pushes back, right?
Yeah.
That is not in the flipper mechs on Alien. So it's really loose. It's really loose and soft to push. So what he made was, here, I'll show it to you. I'll grab it.
While you're grabbing that, Titan Pinball is your answer. I saw Merce replacement, TitanPinball.com. We're going to talk about them later. Pinballs, I recommend just their super shiny are great, or even their standard are great. Some are more or less compatible with magnetism, so definitely look into that. But I'm a fan of Titan pinballs. And then when it comes to flipper rubber, definitely check them out. I like just Stern black, random, just normal black silicone rings. But or not silicone, just rubber. That's what I'm used to on all my games. But if you want to mix it up and get some color involved, the competitive silicone rings here are the way to go. And you can see here, you can choose any color. So I have like on my TNA, I have purple on the flipper bats, and then I have glow in the dark through the rest of the game. But all my Stern games, I just leave them with normal Stern flipper rubber. So there's your answer for that. But
Titan's cool because they have full sets from people that make them, so you can just pick your game, and then they've already picked out all the rubbers and parts you'll need.
So you can be like you said Led Zeppelin. So if you look at Led Zeppelin Premium, let's say, these are kits that people have put together. So complete kit per Stern manual, including one extra of each size as a spare. So they did clear rings, red posts. So some people take pictures of their stuff, but this would be a whole kit depending on what you want. And you see it's one of everything, so you don't even have to think about it. And you can just say add to cart and boom. And what's cool is the people that put together kits, they actually get credit like they're like, somebody bought your kit, so they get like a $1 or $2, like, I don't know. Yeah, Titan Pinball, fantastic. But definitely check them out. But Mike, you were showing us the
Yeah, so this is it's a very simple little
just a piece of metal.
It's actually
Plastic?
3D printed. Yeah,
Huh.
it's 3D printed. There's the little block there, and you just bolt that to the end of the switch, and then that'll sort of act as a pushback when you're pushing the button, just to make it feel a little more tension, like you would feel with like a Stern or a Bolly Williams as well.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's neat. But like as you were asking also about the shots, so there's 4 flippers in the game. There's an upper left and an upper right flipper, and the thing that's really good about them is there's multiple shots you can hit. There's at least 4 shots, 4 significant shots you can hit with each of the upper flippers as well. So it's really well designed that way. I mean, I'm finding I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'm definitely going to be playing a lot more and probably streaming it quite a bit too. So. While we have it, so
yeah. Well, I know I know Alien was one of those games that kind of surprised me. We've done a few different lists for a few different reasons, and like Alien's always been a game that you've said very clearly like you want in your collection. So
yeah,
I think you're in a cool position that I have been in many times, where somebody is letting you borrow a game, and it's awesome. It's totally different than owning the game because you have there's no expectations. It's just like, am I enjoying this or am I not? Because if you're not, whatever, just play the game. It's going to be gone. You don't have to stress about it. You don't have to worry. Am I going to get my money back? Can I be able to sell this? It's very relaxing. And then but because of that too, it's like, holy crap, this game's really growing on me. I don't want to give it away. And then
that's the thing I'm worried about, right? When it's time to go, then I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get my own. But like, I mean, I would be, if I were to get a game, I would be just as happy getting an SV. The LV, I mean, it has all the bells and whistles. I mean, the thing I would really miss is really mostly just that art package. That back glass is so badass. I love it. Other than that, I mean. I don't think so. No.
Oh man,
that's an Auric. You know Auric?
Yeah.
He did the alternate backlash for Shadow. That's super popular and has done some other things. That's his art there. That he did the art package for that. So
and it's sick for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Mike, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on Alien. And yeah, my name's Joel. I do the Triple Drain Pinball podcast, and then I stream here every Wednesday night on Pinball Network, and then every other Thursday on Flippin' Out. And the last game that I played, which I've been playing the heck out of, is Godzilla. I got my Godzilla Premium finally a week or two ago, and that game, I was, like I said earlier with Mike, Zach let me borrow a Pro. And I really loved it. I had a great time with it. And then to be able to play a premium, Seattle Rust always did. I'm glad you like the show. To play a premium and experience the rest of the toys and mechs, I'm like, I got to get this game back. So me, along with everybody else in the pinball community, has been waiting on a Godzilla, and I finally got one, and it has met, if not exceeded, every one of my expectations. The building mech is awesome. My son, who's 2, he's like, I want to play. He's like, Godzilla. He wants to see the building go down. And I've just had a lot of fun modding it. I know this game is so much fun to mod. The standard Godzilla figure in it sucks. I found a cool one. Like, this is what I've been doing for the last few months, is like reading the Godzilla mod threads, and I found this really cool figure on eBay. And my brother is actually into like painting minifigs and stuff, so I gave it to him, and he actually painted it. And I need to post some pictures because it looks awesome. So my brother Jared, exactly. It's very similar to that, but like he painted it, and I put it in, and it fit perfect.
Nice.
And then another mod, which I think is very, very popular, is this one, the Stumbler mod. I hope most people, I don't know, Hadi, did you get in on this?
Yeah, I have it. I put a special camera on it when I stream on TPN on Mondays, and I put it on.
Yeah,
it's hands down the best quality mod I have on any of my pins.
It's so sick. It's so well done.
Cool.
There's a picture of it, but it's super interactive, and he is actually going to build he's going to replace one of the buildings in the background with a similar thing. So it's like, I'm locked in. I'm going to have to buy, like, I'm going to end up buying at least one more of these. If he ends up doing, there's 3 buildings in the background. Like, if he ends up doing all 3, I'll get all 3. It's so well done. It adds so much more visual. I mean, this area on a premium is already so cool, but then he added this, which is awesome. And then he has this whole other mod, which is coming out in like a month, where it's a custom, UFO topper with an integrated LED ring that's color changing based on logic of what gets hit. So like, I don't know. The game is already insanely good. And then we have these brilliant mod makers that are coming out with stuff that are only adding to the overall experience. It's insane. I'm on the list for Atomic Godzilla. Exactly. So that's another thing. He teamed up with another mod creator that made a Godzilla figure where the spines down his back and his mouth will interact with different moments of the games. It's just, those green plastic. I agree. I don't like the green plastic protectors. I agree on that. I like plastic protectors, but where I struggle is it does affect the art because you're now shining light through something green, so it actually adds a green tint. That's why I don't have green plastic protectors in my TNA, because it affects the color of the print, and that bothers me. I work in the printing industry. It bothers me. So, but like these mods, adding these mods are insane, and like, so to replace the figure is awesome. This silly sign is so cool. I can't wait for this, which I think he's going to start shipping those like next month.
He said before Christmas. So
yeah, and I'm stoked about it. It's just little things like that that are only making an incredible game even better. And I know,
his
like,
Godzilla looks kind of like the Zombie Yeti art Godzilla in the game. That was the one thing I had a hard time with, just in terms of changing out that horrible green figure that comes with the game, is that, you know, like, let's say I got this guy who's clearly gray, right? Which is kind of how all the video clips of Godzilla in the game are that color. He's gray.
Well, it's black and white.
Like the color ones from the 70s though, he's like a gray. So but in the game he's like he's green, with the Zombie Yeti art. And so that's the one thing I was struggling with. I'm like, well, if I put this in now, it matches the video a little better, but it doesn't match the rest of the art necessarily. So I like the way that Stumbler did that, is that Atomic Godzilla, it looks like a better representation of the Zombie Yeti art, I think, in a 3D form.
That's where I'm very fortunate that my brother actually painted mine. My action figure looks like the one in your hands, Craig. It was gray, but he painted it more green, not bright green, but it is more. But yes, it is very clear the guy who sculpted this tried to match the art as much as he could, which is awesome. But yeah, to me, I don't know.
Lights up, like, that's wild.
And you can this hooks up to one of Stumbler's boards, so you just clip it onto different sensors, and then it'll react to it. So pretty cool mech. So there's signups for this right now. I don't know if it's limited.
They're over 200 now, so he's up over 200.
So is he hand painting each one too?
It
must be. Wow. Yeah,
this is another mod maker that's working with So like Stumbler is the dude that does he's the brainiac behind it. But so let's see. He's got
he's over 200.
Well over 200.
I was looking today.
So
I'm 76.
There you go.
Finally, I was
finally
in like under 100, for God's sakes.
Do you know if he was going to cap it? Oh, I'm planning batches of 50. Okay, so
so there's no cap. But
what's crazy about the neon sign though is originally he was going to cap it at 250, and it hit that like in 2 days. So then he's like, all right, we'll cap it at 500, and then it's hit that, and he's now keeping a reserve list, and I think he's like well over 600, like 630 or something. I mean, it's like, it is insane the number he's done. And I don't know if anybody wants to do some mental math, but let's say he only does 500, and I think these are what, like $250 bucks.
I think.
Yeah, it's like $100,000 that the dude's made.
In the wrong business.
Yeah, I mean the guy though, he has a whole web app because you can configure all this. I mean, the guy's a brainiac. It's not like he just is an art, like made some little model and then got lucky. I mean, the integration of this, and he has plans of doing something else. Here's the UFO and Seraph. I assume yes, you can still
Sign up.
get one. So I'm signed up
Mhm.
for this, and that's where he worked with another mod maker who's making this, and then he's just adding the board. So not only is the UFO, he actually also has color changing boards that go in these two posts. And I know Mike, you like doing that, adding lights to your post. Well,
I
these
have them in Godzilla.
yeah, well these
Nice.
will interact with the game footage. So that's what he's showing here in this video. So it's just like, God, you take the #1 voted pinball machine of all time, Godzilla, right? And then now all of a sudden we have these brilliant mod makers that are giving you the option to add even more stuff to a game that's already insane. So this is what he's showing off. This is his controller board, which he totally made himself. Like, I can't even, I know I see capacitors, I know that. But yeah, like look at that. Every time you hit the UFO, it interacts, as well as the middle light in the UFO is still interacting based on the game. And then that same type of light show interaction is now in the post down here. So, and you can configure all these so it can be like a burning effect, but then when you actually hit the
that's
slings, they change color. And you saw they flashed red. I mean, it's like, dude, what the heck? And then the last piece to the puzzle, because apparently it can trigger 4 things, is there's an LED strip behind the back box that lines up with the atomic breath of Godzilla and can go off. So that's behind the glass, but that'll go off at different. So like that, it'll go off depending on what you're triggering with the games. I mean, it's insane. It's insane.
But does that come all with? Are those all 3 separate things? Joel?
This thing, yes, that's a whole kit. That's the whole kit for $235. I mean, it's stupid money, right? $235, but like exactly, get your wallet out. It's awesome. But $235. Now he said
about the breath and everything.
Yeah, he goes like, if you want to piecemeal it and you don't want X, Y, or Z, you know, that you could save a little money. But like, I'm curious. I'll probably buy the breath, even though I turn off my back box when I play because I don't want the glare. But if it's like a $30 swing or something, you know, I might as well get it. I don't want to regret it.
But I think that's what I said too. I'm like, oh god damn it!
And that's
for a penny, right?
That's what this board apparently can handle, triggering 4 devices. So this is triggering the UFO. One would be the UFO. One is triggering the pops on the slings, and one's triggering the breath. So I think there's an open slot, and that's where the Godzilla figure like fits in, because they're like, well, if you already have this board, then all you're buying is the figure basically, and you plug it in. So silly mods, like, but awesome, like incredible mods that I think are only making an amazing game more amazing.
Even better.
Yeah. And so Dennis Zorna there, just wait for the $3,000 topper. I don't know, man. You know, I don't know when the topper's going to be announced, but I mean, well, topper talk there, Mike. If you don't notice, you kind of have a little topper going on with Alien. I mean,
there is a bit of topper action going here, isn't there?
And it fills that spot really well, doesn't it? You know, between.
Well, I mean, it definitely there you go. Look at that. It draws your eyes. There you go.
Yeah. Why stop at toppers? We need something under the game. You know, there are. I think Comet Pinball sells strips that go under the game. I know on my TNA, I added LED strips behind the back box. I may actually carry that to under the game. When I had a Guns N' Roses, there's a whole kit. Oh crap! I gotta remember their name. But there's a guy that sent me a whole kit on that for lights that mimic the hot rails, and it was awesome. It was awesome. John, 1956 Pinhead, I love it. First lighting mod I like, dude. Oh yeah, John. These like everything he makes, like just everything that this guy has made are insane. But no way I'm getting the $2,000 man. But I'll buy a Darksaber and put that. Hey, that's fine too. I don't know. Hadi's all in on every topper. You're just we know. And Craig, I think, would be in on toppers, but they won't fit.
If I had any headroom,
it won't fit. So
it's saving me money, even though, you know,
that made that decision easy for you. So I don't know. Are you all in, Hadi? Are you all in on all these? Did you get this guy?
Yeah, I'm on. I have the sign. I'm on the list for the full kit on the Lolly UFO, and then the statue Craig, I think you posted in Discord, and I went and just put my name on that list because I saw it. And I was like, this matches everything. So
Yeah, I was real
so
hesitant
good.
on this because I'm like, crap, I already bought the figure, and I know my brother's. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that my I don't know. It's just cool to have the family. Like I'm glad my brother contributed to my game. So and even when we put it in, he was grinning ear to ear, and then he looked over at Mechagodzilla and he's like, I gotta paint that. Like he's like, I can make that better. I'm like, deal. We'll make that happen. So some incredible mods for Godzilla. Absolutely incredible mods for Godzilla. Speaking of mods, I mean, 1956 Pinhead, he's here in chat. John does make some incredible. It's another incredible mod. It's the precision flipper system. Those are the metal flippers that you guys have seen me stream with. I don't know. I mean, you guys are probably sick of me talking about it about this point, but have you thought about getting a set? What are your thoughts? I don't know. What are your thoughts on them?
I like the idea of them.
Yeah.
I think I have to get more comfortable with replacing parts like that on my own pins. But I think if they are as easy to install as people have said, they look like a blast to shoot on the modern Sterns. They look like they make the game a little more fast if it's not already fast enough. So I think it's a great product, and I think it's probably been well received if it's doing well, and so I think it's a welcome addition to the mod community.
It is,
and I'm learning that anybody can put out a mod, on the market, but it takes a lot of actual positive reviews to get the ball rolling and some steam behind it.
Yeah, and these are the ones that I love. This is kind of his second iteration. Instead of a solid metal flipper bat, it's the center is hollowed out. These feel very much like a normal flipper, but they're just faster. Like they seem to have more power. And the reason I feel like they have more power is on my turtles. Like turtles, I can never backhand the left ramp with a standard flipper. Throw these on here, boom, I can backhand it left and right. And turtles, it's already at 255, like it's maxed out the flipper power. So in my mind, if you have a game in your collection that you feel you wish it could just have a little more oomph, like I know these are game changers for JJP machines. Modern games, I don't know. Turtles is one that I really think it's added a lot to. Deadpool, I like this is actually a picture of my game, I think. Deadpool, I like having them on there. Oh, it's not because I don't have these, but I like the way, like visually, you see that sword and it that has that slot cut out of it, and it just carries right down into it. Like I think they look awesome, but they add a lot. Cash Money Costa, yeah, I joined the channel, dude. Okay, we're talking about mods, we're talking about stuff you can buy, so it's coming up. But by the way, John 1956, he said if you guys are considering buying a pair, message him 1956 Pinhead, say I saw Joel talking about it, 10% off. He'll hook you up with a discount there. So
I will say shout out to 1956 Pinhead, because I have his Avengers Doctor Strange disc mod, and that is a real nice addition. It makes shooting that
I might have to try that
spinning disc, it's really well done. It's just a nice solid product. You can tell the difference.
They're incredibly professionally well made. And the install is a piece of cake. And not to mention the metal bushings that he sells. I just feel like this is what he's talking about. It's out of stock right now, apparently.
Oh, damn
Hadi.
it.
But yeah, that's what you need to get. But the bushings, everything, I just think it's an awesome system. I've had and full disclosure, John sent me them. Like I reached out to him, told him I was curious. This was months ago, and he sent me a set. Like, try it, and if you like it, keep them on, play them on stream. If you don't, take them off, no big deal. And I love them. Like I really enjoy having them. And what's hilarious is my brother came over, so I have them on Turtles and I have them on Deadpool. My brother came over and he was playing Godzilla, and he's like, "Hey, are you gonna put the metal flippers in this?" And I was like, "Probably." And he goes, "Okay," because I really he likes playing with them. So really curious. And I don't know, Mike. I mean, you've got such an assortment of games in your head. There may be one game that you'd be like, if these flippers were a little more powerful, I'd really curious what it would feel like.
Actually, I'm wondering how they would feel in the Alien, because like I said, the flippers feel just different, right, than what I'm used to. So I'm wondering if maybe even a set of those inside Alien might help make the flippers feel a little more authentic or similar for me, because I found I've been playing that for 3 or 4 days now,
Yeah.
quite a lot. And I went from that over to Godzilla, and it was almost disorienting switching from the game to Godzilla because of the way the flippers felt
Yeah.
and the buttons and everything else. So I also did notice that I needed to bump up the strength on those flippers as well to get them to hit some of the shots. It's a wide body too, so. But I would be curious to see how they would perform on the Alien. Yeah, definitely.
I think, and John just said that Alien owners are now installing
there
them
you
and they
go.
like them. I know that's what I'm seeing. I think you definitely see drastic results, like drastic improvements in something like GNR, probably Pirates, Wonka, and then Alien. Something like that, where you give it a little extra oomph. Retro Game Gal. Yeah, the best thing you can do for the link, I probably should like put together a whole here. So 1956, if you just remember that 1956, search that on Pinside. 1956. Oh, that doesn't help. There's 16 Pinsiders. This guy, 1956 Pinhead. If you go to his profile page, it's Precision Pinball is his company, and then this is where you're gonna see the flippers. So if you're gonna go with one, I highly suggest the Halo graphic. But I will say the original ones that were solid look amazing, and those feel like they have more of a punch behind them when you're playing with them. But I personally really like the Halo graphic, and definitely get the metal bushings. So, sternalizing the flippers. Yes, it is very clear the longer I've been in this hobby, Stern, and I don't know if anybody would disagree, but I feel like Stern sets the standard on what a flipper should feel like, and everything feels like we're comparing it to whether or not it feels like a Stern. So yeah, should I get the sleeves for my TS4? Mervin, I would say yes. I think here's my thing is, worst case scenario, your flippers are now too powerful, but on a modern game you can turn down the flipper power. So the idea of your flipper coils now using less power to give you the same shot means they're going to stay cooler longer. Like, that's what I found with Deadpool, is I actually put them in and actually turned down my flipper power. And I like that. I feel like I'm using less energy, so the coils aren't getting as hot as quick. So that's worst case. Best case is this extra power is giving you now, I don't know, like on Toy Story, I will say I did increase the power of some of the flippers when I had one, but I didn't have them maxed out. But Turtles, on the other hand, like Turtles, I have it maxed out, and I still felt like I needed more power. So
one thing I wondered if having those flipper fans, Joel, saves the coil stops as well a little bit, or extends the life on those coil stops. Because when I just replaced the coil stops on my Avengers, and I was shocked at the scorching or scoring, I guess, from the heat that those coils were putting out on the stops.
I think,
and I was like, as soon as I pulled them off, I was like, well, it's no wonder
Yeah.
these the bushings in there are wearing out, because they're getting so friggin' hot over time that it's almost like they're melting the material in there.
Well, the main thing. So Sarah, first off, I already rebuilt the flipper. I'm telling you, man, I did everything I possibly could to my Turtles to like everything, and no. So, Craig, though, if you think about it, like you have the what is it? You have the flipper, and then you have the linkage, right? And I don't know what the metal part is, and then you have the coil stop, and that is a metal on metal, like over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, normally when you're replacing coil stop, it's because this part, the coil stop part, has mushroomed out, right?
Yes.
So I don't know how much heat is playing effect. We'll just pin monk, right? You say it 3 times, he'll show up. Victor, you there? Wait for Victor to show up. But I'll be curious if he thinks his flipper fans affect the coil stops at all in any sort of, I don't know. I don't know if the heat is actually affecting that. But I do know the hotter the coils are getting while you play, it is going to lessen the power of the power. So that's where I feel like these metal flippers, I know people like Dennis Kreisels, he's rolling his eyes over and over and over again. He's saying, baby's first flippers, I'm putting training wheels on my game.
Travis is too. Travis Murray, same thing.
To me, sure, having extra power maybe on, let's say, my turtles, the only way I'd get up that ramp is if I hit the shot perfect, like perfectly clean, perfect. And now that I have those, having that extra power lets even a slightly not perfect shot also make it up the ramp. I'm sorry. That makes me a lot happier. I like that. And I know some people that put this in Avengers, they're saying like the Captain Marvel ramp, they're hitting it all the time now. While before that has to be like a perfectly clean shot. And so to me, I don't know. I want to have fun with my games. And I think this is an awesome mod. So this will be going into Godzilla soon. I haven't put those in yet. We did talk about Pinmonk. We'll just keep saying his name. Pinmonk, he makes some amazing products. He's also a sponsor. If you're only going to do one thing, so let's say Shot by Machine, if you check out his stuff here, I don't know if he's doing Black Friday. When he pops in later, maybe we'll check it out. What did John say? I have coil stops on my radar as something I want to improve. Dude, John is like, he can't help but tinker. That's awesome. I'm still afraid it would make me a worse player. It would be nice to replace just the bushings on some of my older games. True. Yeah. And hey, Sarah, what's cool is you can always put them in. It's non-destructive, right? Worst case, you take them out, right? I mean, I don't know. If you're only going to do one thing, right here, quiet fan plug and play kit. That's the one thing I can't recommend enough. Craig, you have them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the first thing I buy. It's the first two things I bought when
Hadi? Do you have them?
They're unbelievable.
What?
Do you have the quiet fan plug and play kit in your games?
I have I have Pinmonks in Avengers and Black Knight, and then I have the Series 3 one for Godzilla I haven't installed.
Well, I'm saying the fan for the power supply.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, you gotta have them. What I will tell you is Pinball Life also sells them, and so this is from Pinmonk. This is the same thing. So if you're putting in a Pinball Life order, you can go ahead and get it you can get it this way. Otherwise, reach straight out to Pinmonk and get, like, highly suggested. And people are like, "What is this?" What this is if you don't notice, when you're playing your modern Stern games, after you're playing for 15, 20 minutes, you'll hear like a jet plane. Oh, wow. You'll hear that power supply fan kick in and just that woo in the background. I'm pretty sure like in the back, like Zach,
I'm hearing them right now.
Yeah.
I actually have the fans. I just haven't installed them yet. I have them for all my games, and I am listening to the fans right now.
I know
it's so bad that
but you know what? It's almost like a white noise. It's like a hum that puts you to sleep, right? It's like
Kirk Cobb. The things that worries about me about the quiet fan is lower. Yes, it is. I get it, but he did. No. This is where I test. I feel that Victor is a smarter man than me, and I'm telling you, he tested the heck out of this, and he like stress test it of like purposely playing it in an environment that was over, like, and George Gomez has said on streams or on interviews before that they designed the power supply in a game for like a machine that's in a storefront window that's like in a 90-degree room. Like, it's the fan in the current system is too much. It's too much. Like, mine are in a basement. This basement doesn't ever go over 70 degrees, you know? So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, Kirk Hobbs, depending on where you are, I get it. But I will tell you, like, if you like just having your games on in the background, if you have your games in an office or something, like, it's a must. It's a must.
You got to have it. If you watch TV, like with mine, I've got the TV in the same room. Like, I couldn't have my games on and we watching TV because it's just constantly coming on.
Sure.
It's super loud.
Yep. You got to go for it. The other things that Pinmonk obviously makes, the flipper cooling kits. So he has a bunch of these, depending on the game you're on. They are awesome. If you're a person that plays long sessions, long games, you will probably find there are certain games where you can hit a shot at the beginning of the game, and now you're 30 minutes in and you can't hit the shot anymore. The game that stood out to me the most was Stranger Things. Stranger Things was one. As you go farther, it's just like now all of a sudden you're having to adapt how you're playing the game because you can't hit certain shots anymore. These completely change that. So any known issues with overheating? No, not that I know of. Are the flipper cooling kits quiet? Yes. So especially his new kit. I've had He once again, full transparency. I've been working with Pinmonk for a long time, and every one of his kits he's sent me. I've helped him doing some testing. I helped him design the kit and the original TNAs. I also helped him do some of the gel inserts that he did for like Led Zeppelin and whatnot. So awesome mutual relationship we have going on there. But he sent me these kits. And he sent me one of these for testing, and they are awesome. This is his brand new kit. It's a metal bracket. It's a bigger fan that's actually quieter. Like, this is as professional as you can ever hope for a kit.
Wow.
They are awesome. They are awesome. In
Are
my
they a pain
mind,
in the ass to install, or are
no,
they crazy?
because the old kits, the 3D printed ones, you were unscrewing these two screws, and you're hoping that the screw was going to hold not only a 3D printed part, but also your flipper mech. While this is replacing a piece of metal that all that piece of metal is doing is holding on your into stroke switch.
Right.
So it mounts there instead. So I don't feel like you're structurally affecting the flipper at all. It can mount right up next to it. It's metal. It's perfect. Big old. I mean, it's awesome. The install of these is awesome. So in my mind, it's worth the extra money. It's silly. We're in pinball, right? I mean, we're talking $300. Like $300 is what? Like you're almost at an Xbox. I mean, it's
not a topper. That's for
it's
sure.
not a topper. But I just
Old toppers.
if you have games though that you feel like you're putting in that type of gameplay, that longevity type of gameplay, then it's worth it in my mind. But is this something that I mean? I don't know. I'm lucky that I have them on every one of my games. I love them. You just sold me on the new set, dude. Sterling, good. They're awesome, man. They are awesome.
They're really good.
The more you listen, the more I realize how little I know about this hobby, dude. Hey, we're here to help, man. That's
His
the whole point of
instructions
this.
and stuff too. Pinmonk's got great, like
They're so
the box
good.
Yeah.
they come in. You can see it's top notch stuff, right? And
It's like an Apple product, you know? It
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
in-
They are so good. And then one other thing that Pinmonk does that's insane, that are like a must in my opinion, are depending on the game. Rush is a perfect example. This right here, the Rush mode insert bracket. So what is this? This is what the game looks like before, which is just every insert is white. Every insert is white. Well, unfortunately with Rush, you have to know certain inserts line up with certain record colors. So like Limelight is a bright green. You could probably guess that one, Limelight. But like this one, La Villa Strand, I can't even say it. That's like a pinkish purple. But these are things you need to memorize. Or you just get the insert bracket, and then it actually makes the white inserts the appropriate colors. And it's like this and Rush, I feel like it's needed just to learn the game or know the game. But then you have other games like Deadpool that his insert brackets are awesome. They add, like right down here, every one of the inserts on these bad guys were white. But now they make it so that they're colored. So like T-Rex is green, Mystique is purple.
Iron Maiden.
Iron
too.
Maiden's another one.
Yeah, I have it in Iron Maiden, and it makes a big difference.
Big difference.
It does the modes, the colors of like the shots are the same color as the mode now, as opposed to all just being white, right?
Yep, because yours the ladder right down the middle. So to me, it's like it's funny now when I get a new game, if I get a new Stern game. In my mind, I'm like, I got to get the quiet fan, and I've got to see what Pinmonk's made for inserts, because he's made inserts like just to add for the color or the overall color to almost any inserts. Avengers, I know he added some stuff.
I
for
got
the Iron Man stuff.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
looks amazing. Like it looks way better.
Yeah, what does he have? What's he do there? And then if you know, you can always start without a flipper kit, but if you see you are playing like it's a longer playing game, then I don't know, like Turtles kicks your butt. So a normal Turtles game is not going to be a very long game. So I don't know if I need the kit, but the fact that I know I'm going to stream it for 2 hours straight, I'm so glad I have the kit in the game. But like for a longer playing game like Godzilla or Stranger Things, where now all of a sudden, if you're struggling to hit the left ramp on Godzilla 30 minutes into a game, like that's what the flipper fans are for. So awesome products. He's a great dude, great mod maker. Definitely check him out. But these are must-have. Insert mods cost literally $2 to do by. True. Okay, so Jew Rules, I don't know if I'm saying that right. You are 100% correct. Some of these mods, if you like, there are people that make their own flipper fan mods, or even the quiet. Like if you have a 3D printer, there's a lot of these mods you could potentially do yourself, or these insert stuff. Sure, you could buy the colored gels take off your stuff, duct tape it on. I mean, yes, it just depends on what you value. Like saving it and spending more time or way less. I will tell you, that insert that he made for Rush, the install of that is like 10 minutes. It's so easy to do. So it's just, I don't know. It's you do what you want with your game. That's all I can say. And if you want to mod it yourself, go for it. Man, this is the goal for tonight. We have some news that we wanted to talk about, but we know with Black Friday coming up, with Christmas coming up, we really kind of wanted to dive in on some things that we could buy or people. Transparent paper drill. Yes, yeah. So there are some people I know with Deadpool that was a thing. They just buy these colored gel sheets, little plastic sheets, and cut them out. I mean, yeah, totally fine. You do whatever you want. But if you don't want to do that and you want to pay a little extra and get a perfectly fitted thing, that's what these are there for. So
I used to do that with my Bally Williams games, the ones with like the old orange DMD. I used to buy like the red gel paper and just put it over the DMD, and it would turn it red, so it would look more like like your Walking Dead or your Modern Stearns and stuff, and it just helped that way. But yeah, that kind of stuff you can do, but keep in mind, if you want to, get a little bit of a gel insert to put over, you're having to buy a big sheet, and those aren't cheap, right? You can't buy just little pieces of it. You got to buy a big sheet of it. So in the end, if you have to buy 5 big sheets to get 5 colored cutouts, you're going to be spending quite a bit of money on that anyway. So, I mean, you can get the mod and have it done for you, probably for a very similar price, really, if you're thinking about it in the end.
Yeah. Well, we've got a lot more to talk about. So I just see it's a little past 11. We're going to run this with a sponsorship video real quick, and then we're going to dive right back in because I definitely want to keep this conversation going. So everybody in chat, we have 8 amazing sponsors. We're going to watch this sponsor video real quick. If, stay in chat. Otherwise, it's like 3 minutes. Otherwise, go grab a drink, take a whiz, whatever you need. We'll be back here real soon. So let's go ahead and start this.
Your pinball machine deserves the best. At Comet Pinball, you'll find the best variety of LED products with the best quality LEDs, and most importantly, at the best price. Your collection is begging for an upgrade. Order yours now at cometpinball.com.
Scorbit is excited to announce Achievements, the latest in an amazing series of features available to thousands of connected pinball machines around the world. Achievements are part of Scorbit's free open platform. Scorbit already supports hundreds of pinball machines from the 1970s to today. Give your games new life by connecting them to the Scorbit platform and the universe of applications for pinball machines.
All right. Awesome. Yes. Hope everybody's still here. Appreciate you guys checking out that sponsorship video. We once again are the Pinball Network. Try to give you guys, some sort of entertainment as throughout the week. Once again, here's our schedule. Jordan and Becca on Sundays. Hadi, who's on tonight, is on Monday nights with Frisco Pinball. Mike, who's on Tuesday nights, he's on here tonight as well with Pinballers, Mike, Lisa, and Carter. Here we are on Wednesday, the Flipping Out stream. Tomorrow night will be Chuck Wirt, followed by George, Don't Panic Flip, and then over the weekend will be Jedi. And yeah, I appreciate the 8 sponsors we've had. We're going to talk a little bit about Comet, Meso Mods, some incredible mods for almost any of your games. Scorebit, get your game on the internet. Stern Pinball, makers of some incredible pinball machines. Pinball Monk, we just talked about him and the awesome stuff that he makes. Zach and Nicole at Flipping Out, very grateful for them. If you're looking for any new or used pinball machine or accessory, reach out to Zach and Nicole. I know they're on vacation this week, but they will hook you up. Pinball photos to decorate your arcade room. And then Doug at Speaker Light Kits to add those to any one of your games, which are incredible. That was definitely something that that's another thing. Speaker Light Kit is kind of a must-have. Like especially now that I already have in my other games, I'm definitely planning on adding that to Godzilla. Hadi, I know you have the Burning City Speaker Light Kit, right?
Yeah, the Flamin' Frames.
Yeah, you got to get that.
Yeah.
Craig, if you ever get those, you're going to have to get one for Avengers too.
I was trying to buy some at Expo, but of course they're back ordered right now. I was trying to buy the Godzilla ones, but
yeah. It's there. So this is what we're talking about. Speakerlightkits.com. You go here, check out so I have the ones that I have in Deadpool and Turtles are just like this. They're the deluxe type 13, which is really cool because you can switch out the terrible speakers that are in your game. The 4-inch speakers for a 5.25-inch speaker. Here's a mounting bracket for that. And then you get these acrylic rings and a really cool light show. I really like the looks of those. It makes the lights look like those in an LE. I mean, that's obviously what all that Hadi knows. But yeah, they're pretty great. But he made these for Black Knight Sword of Rage, and they fit perfect in Godzilla, which is this flaming speaker mod, which is insane. And whoa, we're coming with a raid. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. This mod is awesome. There's a huge disclaimer here because this mod is super back ordered. But yeah, definitely recommend it. I don't know. It was even, and when we were looking at the Stumbler mod earlier, it was on his game. It's kind of a must have. So highly recommend Speaker Like It. But speaking about speakers, this is new to me. Penwoofer. Penwoofer. These are awesome. This is all I can say.
Mhm.
These are awesome. And here's the deal behind this. So I was listening to Loser Kid Pinball recently. Not Loser Kid. I was listening to Pinball Party with Jason, and he had the Buffalo guys, Nick and Kevin. And I listen to Buffalo Pinball. And Nick, he's kind of a tightwad, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Nick is he is definitely, he's not a mod guy. He's a tournament player, and you can tell if he's going to add something to a game, he feels it's mandatory, like it's necessary. He doesn't do frills. So he's just gotten into, I say that, but he's just gotten into powder coating his games, which I powder coated Deadpool. I love it. So I'm kind of starting to go down that path. I know Hadi, all your LEs are powder coated. So I know like it's pretty sick. There's something about the way it changes the way it looks and the way it feels. Powder coating is pretty awesome. But Nick has become like an advocate for Penwoofer. And I'm like, okay, so if Nick is supporting this as a must-have mod, that says something. So what is Penwoofer? Penwoofer is an all-included kind of kit to completely change the audio in your game, or the audio package in your game. And so what I will say is, when I did the speaker light kits before, I would go from the 4-inch speaker to a 5.25-inch speaker, and I was buying Kenwood. It's the exact same speakers that are in an LE. It's the exact same ones. So I was just basically taking those out, putting in those. I was still using Stern's sound system. So essentially, my game would sound the same as an LE. That was the whole thing. You're using the Stern built-in amp. And there was an improvement. Like, the sound in the game did improve. But it wasn't huge. It wasn't a huge thing. It wasn't like, wow. It didn't like blow me away. If anything, the reason I put in the 5.25-inch speakers is just for the look. I just wanted the speaker panels to look like an LE speaker. That was the whole reason I did the change. But I still didn't turn the volume up very much. To me, the big wow moment of audio was putting in headphone jacks. So putting in a headphone adapter, and you can buy those here on Pinball Life. I don't mind wearing headphones. I wear headphones all day while I work, but just getting this adapter kit, putting this into my stern, that to me, like if I really wanted to hear the audio in a game, headphone adapter kit. I would throw those in there, plug it in, and now all of a sudden you're hearing sounds that you never hear. Like really fine noises, small noises. Like the audio package in these modern games are insanely good, but there's so much that's lost over the sound of the ball and the flippers and the banging and the clanging, and you just don't hear it. So I've been a huge fan of the audio adapter. So, or the headphone adapter. All my games will be powder coated. Yeah, Sterling, once you start that, you're stuck. It's so great. Did we discuss Prince yet? No, Saul, but thanks for being here. How much does it cost to get a pin powder coated, or do you guys do it yourself? It depends. I would say anywhere between low threes maybe to 5, somewhere in there. Yeah. Sterling, yeah, I do the Kenwoods. It's okay. I like the look. Exactly. It's more visual than anything else. Well, I've just never cared. I just never thought I wanted my pins to be loud or sound good. Like, I was fine with headphones. Most of the time when I'm playing, I'm streaming, I do direct capture, and I'm listening to the game with headphones. But it's really made me appreciate how good the sound is. What are you coating legs? So powder coating, it's the legs, the side rails, the lockdown bar, the hinges, and sometimes like the leg bolts. That's pretty much everything.
Coin door occasionally too.
Coin door, yeah.
Coin door, but that's not really.
I think your mic is wrong, Mike. I think your mic is your headphones. It sounds very tinny. I'd double check your mic. But what the biggest thing that I like about the powder coating though is the feel. Like now your hands are touching a powder coated lockdown bar and side rail. Like it, I don't know. It's awesome. It's awesome. But so what's going on with Pinwoofer? So I reached out, like, because Nick speaks so highly of Pinwoofer, I reached out to the creator of Pinwoofer, Dan, and I basically was like, I got some questions, because if Nick is plugging you, that means something. And I was like, and I stream, so it's very important to me that I still need to have a way to do direct capture. So the way that I do direct capture on a normal game is using the headphone adapter. The game thinks I plugged in headphones, but instead I'm doing a mic into my computer. That's how I do direct capture, and then I monitor that, and that's how I hear it. So I was asking him all these questions, and he reached out to me, and all of a sudden we started a good conversation about things that he's planning on doing, what's going on. Long story short, he sent me a kit. So thank you so much, Dan, for giving me a shot, because he's like, you know what? If you love it, play with it on stream or talk about it on your podcast. If you don't, that's fine. I'll ship it back. Like, let's give it a go. I skipped the coin door and back box speaker. Yeah, I don't do the coin door. I'm fine with a black coin door.
So what kit did you get?
So I got it for Godzilla. So in my mind, if you have a pin like Rush or Led Zeppelin or something like a music pin, this is a no-brainer. But to me, Godzilla, like, I was like, I want to feel the destruction. Like I want to feel, I want to be even more immersed. I don't need the clarity of like, the news. Oh, now we have this. Like I don't need that guy to sound better, but I wanted to hear the
lamps.
I wanted to feel the game. So I got it for Godzilla. You can see he has different kits per each one, and I will tell you, he does have a Black Friday sale. So if you check out, there is a Black Friday sales post here on Pinside, and there's a whole bunch of Black Friday sales. But he has a Black Friday sale. So here's your thing. If you're going to go Spike or JJP, if you have Guns N' Roses, this is probably a no-brainer for a JJP game. But there is a Black Friday sale. I think it's 10% off. So they're not cheap. Is this a humble brag? No, Jedi. This is not. I'm just telling you, I got this kit, and it is.
So what's the kit?
So the kit is literally, like I said, it replaces every audio component in your game, to the point where the wires that are connecting the speakers, I took out of my game because they're not even being used anymore. The 2 plugs that would go to connect your cabinet speaker and your backbox speaker, not used anymore. Really all it's doing is it's taking the audio, the direct audio from
The board.
CPU board, and it's going into an actual amplifier. So the
Okay.
amplifier is pulling power. That's what this board is over here on the right. That power, that board plugs into your CPU board. That's taking direct power from your power supply. Before it even gets to the CPU board, it's pulling off of that. So it's like the power is not being pulled from anything that would affect your gameplay. And that's what's crazy is Dan, he designed everything. Every component in this game was specifically made. Like, this isn't an amp that he bought from China and just lasered Pinwoofer on it. Like, this is an amp he designed for pinball sound. Same with every one of these boards, completely custom. And then even the speakers, like he had to place an order for a lot of speakers, but these are speakers that he custom designed for pinball. So this kit, it's $370. It's not cheap, but it comes with everything you need to plug this in. And there's an amazing tutorial. If you're curious about this, just go to YouTube. Hurry Up Pinball. Hurry Up Pinball. Shout out to Craig. Hurry Up Pinball is where you want to go. Hurry Up Pinball has made, not only does he have some really cool stuff, but he's made some awesome kits here on, like, he did the tutorial. So this is right here on how to install the game. So right here, this is where it's showing, that's the main power coming in. So that's the main power coming in from your power supply. So you unplug that, you put in this separate power supply board, and that's what comes off of that. Craig, any new rumblies? Oh yeah, Saul's here for the news. So yeah, it's super professional. It comes with all the wiring you would need to do this. And in my mind, I was like, if I really cared about audio, I'm pretty sure I could buy wire, I could buy an amp, I could buy speakers. I've got to do this cheaper. There's stuff on Pinside that people have actually made Excel documents on that, and they're like, for you to get a similar thing, it may be somewhere in the $200, or I don't know, it may be. It's going to be still in that upper range because of the quality of the speakers that are involved in this kit. But this is all done. It's all done. It's all ready to go. The install took, 20, 30 minutes. And I will tell you guys, like, I know I sound like a shill because I am. It was a game changer. Like, the quality, and what's cool is the knobs down here, you can separate the bass volume. So your cabinet speaker, which is monster, by the way, compared to the backbox speakers. So like if you want to hear more information, the backwood speakers are pretty amazing. But then the bass, the sub speaker, like the rumble, I love shaker motor. Shaker motor, you gotta have a shaker motor. I gotta have a shaker motor. But like shaker motor only goes off in certain moments. But like Godzilla, you hear that like doo, doo, doo. That's not the shaker motor. That's just the sound. And now that I have a sub that's just kind of shaking the machine a little bit, I don't even have the volume like blasting. Like I'm not like hurting my ears. It's just, it truly has added so much more immersion to the game in my mind. So what I would say is I have a 4-pin collection. So I don't mind making my pins in my mind like as good as I think they can be, because that's it. Like there's no reason for me to save money for another pin because I can't fit another pin. So I don't mind splurging essentially on a game that I love, and Godzilla is like a keeper for me. So even if I would have bought this kit, I would have been totally happy with it because I don't see Godzilla leaving. So I'm glad the immersion in the audio package is as good as it's going to be. If you're a huge Rush fan, like this is a no-brainer if you have a Rush, like a no-brainer if you have a Rush in my mind, and you want to just enjoy the music. But all right, so what do we have here? Yeah, YouTube tutorials. YouTube University will teach you everything you ever need to know. Kenwood speakers and a powered sub with pin sub adapter all day. So yes, so Ryan, I know there's a lot of people that are all about that. They want the extra bass, but what I will tell you is the clarity in the treble area that you get with his backbox speakers is insane. Like it's so good. It's so good. Well, the Stern motherboard can barely drive 20 watts deep back. I know. Yeah. If you put too much power to your cabinet sub, it'll rattle the cabinet. Yes. So that it actually, he sends in his kit anti-rattle tape. So I don't have like I said, my sub is not, it's not obnoxious. Like the sub in the I have no interest in adding an external sub because I don't need that in my room. But just that rumble, I don't know. It just fills out the sound. I don't really know how, like this, Nick, I heard when he was saying it on the podcast the same way. Like there's no way to show this. You have to hear it. Like you have to experience it kind of thing. And just to me, I was blown away. I was blown away. Somebody up in chat had said they put it in Deadpool. The sound package in Deadpool is incredible. I'm tempted. Like, I'm tempted to buy a whole nother kit just for Deadpool, because TNA has an amazing sound system in TNA, and I love that. And now Godzilla's that. So I don't know. I just I just preached essentially for the last 15 minutes straight. The three of you guys, I mean, when you're hearing me say, what's popping into your head? Is this just straight shill or questions or what? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I have never considered one of these actually. I've never experienced one. I've never actually heard one firsthand. I like sounds in my game. I do have the headset kit in my Led Zeppelin. I do the only thing I do is I have Polk Audio subwoofers underneath all my games, and I hook the games up to that. It makes the games a little more bassier, and I don't mind it that way. I would be interested to see how this sounds, because it sounds like it's something that would really enhance the game sound. Because I mean, all the subwoofer does is really just enhances the bass, right? I mean, it's more for booming bass, which is great. I mean, it definitely helps improve the sounds of the games. But I've never heard what these sound like, so I'd be interested to see.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is I just didn't care. I just didn't care about the sound enough. Like, I was totally content with playing with my games quiet. And in my mind, if I wanted to hear the game or be even more immersed in the game, I'd grab my headphones and I'd plug it in, and that's how I experienced it. But now that I have speakers that I feel like before, I feel like I can crank it if I wanted to, and just, I don't know. It really adds to me. Like, Godzilla is a perfect game for that, but like Rush, like, I know, Mike, you have Rush, you also have Led Zeppelin. Like, I just feel like if you got one of these kits and put it in one of these games, there's a good chance you're going to end up buying a second to put it in another. It really, and the install is easy enough, and none of it is destructive. So you could install it and swap it between games until you find one that you really love. But I don't know. I just Saul, we're putting underglow kits on pins, powder coating is time. Yeah, I get it. And this is, some people are just like, I just want to play pinball. I don't care. Like, some of this modding out your game, some people it just doesn't do anything for. And I totally understand. I'm just, what has amazed me, and the headphone adapter kit will tell you very quickly, the audio packages in these games are insane. Like, they're so good, and you just aren't hearing it. And until you plug in a pair of headphones that muffles the outdoor noise and really allows you to hear the game, or you improve the speakers in the game or power them with an amp, you're really not truly hearing how great the game is. So, I don't know. Ryan, I say that changing the back box speakers. I absolutely, just changing it from the standard Stern to the Kenwood is an improvement. And I know, like, Pinball Life here, I think they sell they have even just like a cabinet speaker this thing right here, this boom 8-inch cabinet speaker upgrade. I mean, it's like, or Flipper Fidelity. This is a kit that's been out a while, which Flipper Fidelity is just more speakers, but I am ultra impressed with how great this system is, how professional it is. It just, I don't know, and sitting here and tweaking the noise and the knobs, and I'll tell you, he's working on some things that I'm excited to test. That will be, I'm very curious to see what he's coming out with next. So it's just, I don't know, I'm sold. I'm sold on this kit. Even though I didn't buy it, I will highly endorse this kit to the point where I would consider putting it in other games of mine for sure. So, I don't know. Feel free to write it down, Craig.
I'm writing down.
More things you need to check out, but it's a really cool system.
So can you upgrade as well from the 4-inch
Yes.
speakers to the 5 on that, Joel? Okay.
Yep. So what's crazy is in this video, when he swaps out there are actual plates that he will sell or that come with it. So like in right here, you'll see at this point, here's the 4-inch speaker. And then there's a whole different mounting bracket that it's this 3D printed part.
Okay.
So
that
it screws
adapts.
in, it screws into the 4-inch layout, but then you can put a 5-inch speaker in it. But I will tell you, I ended up getting the 5-inch converted metal brackets from Speaker Light Kit because I knew I was going to get the other, like, I just went ahead and got the whole conversion kit to go to the 5.5-inch speakers. So I think the standing recommends still Alpines for about $80. I still need a test. Yeah, exactly. Isn't sure what the standard in what is this? Hot Wheels? HWCE, for example. I'm pretty sure that was something. Is that Hot Wheels? Hot Wheels doesn't have a collector's edition. I don't know. I'm just telling you, it's just go ahead, even if you're gonna not buy the Pinwoofer, it just
Halloween.
Halloween. Just improving your speakers from. I mean, look at the driver on that right there compared to that. I mean, it's like
it's pretty. It's
night
when
and
you
day.
see that, it's crazy.
It's night and day. So even like I said, Pinball Life, Flip for Fidelity is half the cost, or even just getting the Kenwoods or some of the other ones recommended. Just any speaker improvement isn't going to be an improvement, but I will just say this is top tier. This is top tier in my mind, and I'm super impressed with it.
Well, and having that equalizer too is interesting because it allows you to do a few different things there. You know, to get the
just really get it
output
dialed
right.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's cool is there is an output on there, so I'm going to be able to pull direct audio from that.
Could you plug headphones in there?
You could technically into the output, but that's something that he's messing with is what else can he do with headphones? Because the way that he's pulling audio directly from the CPU board, he has like complete control over it, so he can do everything at once. It'd
be nice to do some sort of a Bluetooth adapter kit for something like that too.
Well,
so,
the only thing with Bluetooth, and anybody that streams knows it, is there's lag. There's always a little bit of lag, and that's where I don't know. I get it. I know Bluetooth's built into the JGP games. I've never used it from a headphone standpoint, but so I don't know. Pinwoofer, there is a Black Friday sale. Feel free to check that out. If you have any questions, call Dan. His name is right there, like his number's there. The guy is so smart, and he will answer any and all questions you have. So grill him on why it's worth the money, and he'll answer them. So I'm super impressed. I was so grateful to get a kit and try one out, and I'm blown away by it. To the point where, I'm happy to shill it, and I hope more people get it. And if anybody has one in chat, tell me I'm right or wrong. But I would encourage you guys to try it. So Mike, send this video to Lisa and say, this is what I want for Christmas.
There you go, on the Christmas list.
This is what I want for Christmas. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So I feel like I've talked a lot. Tonight. There's plenty more stuff to break through, but I want to let the three of you guys talk. The point of tonight we're good with Black Friday coming up. What are cool things we can buy, or get on our wish list, or so just Mike, I know you have show and tell. I know you have some stuff that you want to show off here. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, and go ahead.
So these are not like any, breaking the bank kind of things. I'm not a big modder. Like I don't put like big expensive mods on my games. I'm a tinkerer. I like to tinker. I like to add fun little things to games. So I thought, well, if we're talking about gift ideas and that sort of stuff, that I would go more the route of like stocking stuffer type stuff, or little things that you can get if you want to buy your friend a gift or whatever. So I picked out a few things that I have that some I've gotten as gifts, and some I just feel like would be good little gifts or stocking stuffers that you can get for anybody who has games or an enthusiast or whatnot. Obviously one of the biggest things is like tools and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
So for me, this has been one of the best things that I could ever have.
Yes,
and that is these kits here. Okay.
Yes.
And they're $15 at home. You don't even need to order them from a pinball site. You just go to Home Depot and you grab them. These are magnetic trays, and they are a godsend when you're like shopping games and whatnot. And it even comes with this little metal extender rod that's got a magnet on the end of it, that when you drop a screw and it falls under a plastic or whatever when you're shopping a game, it'll help you grab and pull your screw out. Exactly.
There you go. Pinball Life.
Yeah.
Just magnetic parts. I have one, and you are right. It's one of those. This is one of those purchases where you're like, why did I not buy this? 8
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago. Like,
Yeah.
and there's
It'll
a
help
magnet
get
on the bottom, so that's
yeah.
what's awesome. You take your playfield glass off, set that aside, and then you can slap that thing right on the lock bar or even on
Yep.
like the side rail because it's magnetic. And every screw you take out, you just set it right over
Put it in
there,
there.
and boom. I
Yeah.
mean, $5 well spent. Like it
Yeah,
is
and it's like
so
it's
great.
perfect. The rod can
Greg's
get your
writing it down.
get your stuck balls,
Yeah.
get your stuck balls out of your games, whatnot, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So going along those lines as well, when you're working on shopping your games and you have lots of different screws and parts and stuff like that, these things are also incredible to use as well. They're just little.
Yeah.
I put them on I usually put them on the game beside me. And it's just compartments to separate your parts, like if you're pulling bolts or even from sections of the game, like I'll put, oh, okay, this is all the slingshot parts. This is all, the other plastic parts. This is the ramp parts, that sort of stuff, just to keep everything neatly organized on my game. And with that, I also, and these are cheap. These are like, you can get these types of things at like the dollar store. And I use this as well. So I just put this on the game beside me. It's just a little sort of like rubber mat.
Yeah.
And you can put all your tools on it. I put my tools, my little organizing cases, that sort of stuff. And then you have your magnetic things. It just keeps everything so much organized, so much easier for you. They're super cheap. And that's what, like I said, like stocking stuff or type stuff, whatever. But that's like tools and all that sort of stuff. But when you're like into like tinkering into the games and stuff like that, and you want to add like fun little inexpensive enhancements to your games, stuff like that, there's stuff like, and I have these on all my games, and they are colored, fun little colored leg rubbers. They just go
Oh,
underneath.
yeah.
They go underneath the legs of the casters of your legs.
What are those called?
They're
Or
rubber
where do you
feet.
buy them?
I guess they're rubber feet. Well, I buy them off of here in Canada. I buy them off of there's a guy by the name of Eddie Durazio who is sort of well known in the community here. He has a site called pinballleds.ca, and he has a whole bunch of mods, stuff like this. This is where I've got these from.
And you're on carpet
and
or are you on tile or what?
I'm on like sort of like hardwood type
Okay,
floor.
yeah, because I've seen
Yeah.
those work super well for a tile or a hardwood.
Yeah.
But like carpet, I have carpet sliders on mine, just which may be good or
Yeah.
bad because you can move the pin a little more, but it's also great because you can like move a pin if you need to.
Yeah, and typically I just put these on the front legs of the
Okay.
game. You don't really need to put them on the back. So I mean, two of them, this will cost you like $10 or something like that for a pair of two. And I sort of color match them to the theme of the game, so they kind of look kind of cool.
Nice.
And along with that as well, I do. And I think you can get these on a number of different sites, like I think PinMonk has them, and even some other sites too. A Titan might even have them, but they're just colored bolts.
Colored bolts.
Colored bolts that you put into.
Ah.
Yeah, so I put those into, and again, I only do them on the front legs of my games. But I, like purple, for example, I have those on my Guardians of the Galaxy and Rush. Red I have on Iron Maiden, Black Knight, Sword of Rage, that sort of stuff. These are super cheap as well. They're like, I don't know, $1.50 each, something like that.
Nice.
Where do you get
So-
those,
Yeah,
Mike?
where are
do you
those?
get those?
Those are off of the same site that I got these
Pinball
from.
LEDs?
You Canadians,
Pinballleds.ca.
you. Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
see them there.
Canadians, yeah.
Leg bolts. Yep. $1.95 a piece. What?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah. So I
must-have.
actually,
Craigslist is getting long, guys. His list is getting, yeah.
I
Only
actually
thousands.
bought a whole whack of them for whenever I need them. I have a bunch of extras and stuff like that because they were so cheap. So
Dude, that's
I ended
sick,
up buying
yeah.
those. And then, like you guys were talking about with that Godzilla mod and those little post lights. Oh, you got these here. That's what I put these in all my games. They're cheap again. Fun little lights. These
Yeah.
you just
I think
solder them to the lights underneath your slingshot, and then here, I'll pull one out so you can see it. But you can get these on Comet Pinball.
yeah, what are those called?
They're matrix light systems, so they're just these little, and they have 4 little LEDs on
they are.
them. And
Right
yeah,
here. Star po-
there you
the
go. Exactly.
Star Post
Different-
mod.
Yeah, different colors, whatnot. So what I like to do is I buy the clear Star Posts,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just
we go.
easily
Yeah.
fit right over perfectly underneath your slingshot.
And it just
Just
adds
like
a
that.
little bit more light in the
Yeah.
sling area. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Nice.
cool. I put them on all my games. These are fun little things for anyone who tinkers. Super cheap. Like these are, I know, like a couple bucks each too. I think $2.95. They're they're not expensive at all. Great little stocking stuffer type things. What else do I have here? Other stuff that's just like sort of inexpensive when you're talking about mods and stuff like that, or like little decals to put over your stand-up targets. Most stand-up targets on games are like just one
here you
color type thing.
Right there. There's your whole kit.
Yeah, exactly.
So you
right?
get
Look
the
at how
clear,
bright they are.
and
Yeah.
I will encourage this. I prefer a clear rubber on all of the slings because I feel like it lets more light through down in the flipper area where you want it. So adding light, like I haven't done the Star Post, but I see your appeal here, Mike. Nice.
Yeah, and they're actually not that hard to do.
No.
Good for somebody who's even like beginner level solderer, that kind of thing. They're not hard to do, easy to put on, doesn't take too long, that
Well,
kind
this
of stuff.
kit,
So
yeah, this kit right here, it'll come with alligator clips, so you can just
you can do it with alligator. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do it with alligator clips as well. I just solder them right to the lights themselves. But yeah, alligator clips work too. And then like stuff like this, just little they're like little decals for your stand-up targets. These are for Jackbot. I haven't put them on yet, but instead of just the colored little
Yeah.
stand-ups, it's just one color. You got these. They're nice. They're thick, so they're pretty. They're not just stickers. They're kind of thick and protective for the stand-ups as well. And these are cheap as well. You can just throw those onto your stand-ups, just enhance your game a little better as well too,
Sure.
instead of having just the standard color sort of stand-up targets. And then the last thing I have here is more again towards the tool thing, which I didn't really show, is just these things.
Oh yeah.
These are a godsend. If you can get these and you have a lot of parts and you tinker, they're good for putting in like your LEDs. You can separate your different colored LED lights. You can put if you have hardware that you use, extra bolts, screws, washers, whatever, fuses, everything, set them
Do
up.
those have the bins that come out?
Yeah,
no?
yeah. You can these guys.
He's gonna drop this whole thing, and they're all gonna.
No, but you can take the separators out of them, like these yellow things, and then you can make the bins bigger if you need them, or like bigger pieces or whatever, that kind of stuff.
I know there's a brand of those that it actually has little bins that set in there so that you could like pull a bin out if you needed to. But just organization is what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, and they stack. You can stack them and then clip them together, so they're awesome. I have like 4 of them, and I use them for. I have one for LEDs here, and then I have another one that I use for like
What brand
all
is
my
that, Mike?
fuses. This one
Is that a Stanley?
Stanley, yeah, that's Stanley. Yeah. And those, again, you can just get those at like Home Depot, stuff like that. So those are fun little things. Like if somebody who's not into pinball, they don't know that pinball sites and all that sort of stuff, just go to Home Depot, grab stuff like that. Like people who like to tinker on games really appreciate that kind of stuff as well. And then the final last thing is this. Does anybody know what this is?
The shield.
Yes, if you are like a Bolly Williams enthusiast game player, it's not really for the newer Sterns. They don't really need it because the angle they have. If you see the angle, the screens are, you don't see the reflection. But these are anti-reflective plastics that stick right into your game at the top of the glass, particularly for games with DMDs, and it takes the glare of the DMD off of your game. And these are like $12, something like that.
I gotta find.
And those are awesome for somebody who has like an older collection of games.
There it
you
is.
can get those on Pinball Life, I believe.
Yep, Pinball Life, the DMD no glare film. Oh, that's the film. No, what is that? There's a name. It's plastic. It's bent
Yeah.
plastic, I think is what
It's
it
called
is.
bent plastic. That's actually what it's called.
There it
yeah.
is, right there. Bent
There you go.
plastic. That's all it
There you
is.
go. See, like $12.
I use them for streaming because that's another thing that
Yeah.
you'll see reflect on the glass.
Yes.
But I just have one, and I just move it between my game, whatever game I'm streaming. But that's a good purchase.
Where does it
Yeah.
go? I still don't understand
It
where
slides.
it goes.
So
where the
it's-
go ahead, Mike.
Oh, sorry. It slides in right at the top of the glass. So, like where your glass slides in, the
Yep.
little channel at the back, you just slide this in over the top of your glass and under the channel at the very back of where
Yeah.
the glass goes into the channel underneath there.
You can kind of see it right there, but it's just
Okay,
it's
so it
weird.
doesn't
it's like
block the
no,
back
it
of the
doesn't block
playfield or anything.
at all.
No,
but it just,
no.
Okay.
It sticks up a little bit
Yeah.
just
I
so
see.
that it blocks the glare from shining onto your game. As you can see on the left, the DMD is reflecting off the glass there. And
Yep.
then, yeah, so like I just thought that, these are types of little gifts you can get, like stocking stuff for type stuff and pinball enthusiasts kind of appreciate that kind of thing. I know I love getting stuff like this and then tinkering with your games and just, it enhances the games quite a bit just for a small amount of money too. You don't always need to spend huge amounts of money on like big expensive mods and stuff like that, which are great. I'm not knocking them. If you have that kind of money and you want to spend that kind of money on your friend or your family or whatever for Christmas and holidays and whatnot, that's great. But if you don't and you have a budget, these types of things are also perfect for pinball enthusiasts and stuff too.
So we'll focus on tools here for a second, and what I will say, it just depends on where you're putting in an order. Like if you already have an order going with Titan, right? If you already have an order with Titan, you're getting some flipper rubbers. They have a tools section. So like these magnetic nut drivers are incredible. They are so worth the price. Now there's 4 different sizes. You really only need 2. I forget which 2 though. I think it's like 11/32 and 1 1/4. I think those are, but you might as well buy all 4. I mean, they're cheap enough. I mean, starting from $4.25. Set of 4.
I have some here.
Set of all 4, whopping $15. So it's like if you're on Titan, go ahead and buy them there. I will also say, we did not mention this before, but if you're on Titan and you're going to buy something, those are awesome. You will need 2. I was using 4 sizes the other day. Okay, so on older games, I know on most modern Sterns you can get away with just 2 sizes, but this freaking pin mat, this thing, you look at this, it's $80, and you're like, what the heck? It's a piece of foam. It is so great. I own 2 of them. I bought one. The shipping's kind of expensive. I got it, but that's something that I move between every game that I play. That way you can play barefoot. And I liked it so much I found myself moving it from the basement to upstairs because I have a standing desk and using it up there. And then when I was at Texas Pinball Festival, they were on sale. So I bought myself a second one so I don't have to move it. The Titan Pin Mat, nobody that I know of has ever bought one and regretted it. So if you're going to put in an order with Titan, get yourself some clear sling rings. Yes. And get a pin mat and get some other rubbers and get some balls. That's the thing with Titan. Go ahead and get your pinballs from
so those pin mats are super cool and whatnot. And again, I'm not trying to take any business away from any of the pinball mod or manufacturers or whatever, but I also have mats, but I got them at Home Depot. I got $14, just black, and they're memory foam, the exact sort of same type of thing.
It is.
And I use those. And you're right, though, like having any sort of like memory foam or whatever it is underneath. It's I mean, people use it for washing dishes. They put them under their, it's the same sort of concept.
Mhm.
So any mat is better than none. I'll definitely agree with you. But what's interesting is this mat is made by the company. It says right here, another fine Ergo Neil product. Ergo Neil. I looked that up. That's like a industrial level. They make like industrial level mats. Because I saw that. I was like, oh, Ergo Neil. I'll just buy it straight from them. And those mats are just as expensive as the Titan ones. So I don't know. I mean, maybe this is a premium, but it's just, I love this mat. I love this mat. So maybe you can get something very similar for a quarter or half the price. I don't know, but they are awesome.
Mats are great for
the
sure.
Stern mat,
especially
I've
if you're
never
playing
tried
like
them.
as a streamer, if you're playing for a long period of time, having those to stand
Awesome.
on is
But I definitely don't want to gloss over these magnetic nut drivers are huge. They are definitely worth getting. Seraph is talking about Voodoo Glass. I have a piece of Voodoo Glass that I have in. I bought one from Trent with Tilt Amusements. I bought it from him. Not Trent. What was the guy's name? Crap. I feel bad.
It's
now.
Trent. Trent.
No, Trent's the
Augenstein?
main guy, but then he has a guy in Chicago. That's the guy I
Oh.
bought it from. And anyways, it's awesome. I'm a big fan of the anti-reflective glass. I know that's what's in Hadi's LEs, so he's clearly a fan. But it's worth it. That's CoinTaker. CoinTaker sells it, and then they do Black Friday sales where it's kind of Voodoo Glass right here. The difference between the Voodoo Glass works great. They do this 2-pack. I don't know if this is on sale already though.
Holy, look how low price they are.
It's crazy. I mean,
What
it's
is the
$200
difference
bucks.
between Invisiglass and Voodoo Glass? Is there a difference between the two of them?
Or
Or is it just a different
they're
sort of
different brands, but I will tell you the Invisiglass is a JJP OEM. Oh, gotcha. The Voodoo Glass works great. That's what I have in mine, and it works really, really well. So I don't know if I'll be curious. You'll have to watch this come Black Friday. Normally they do a Black Friday sale. Well, this may even come down a little more. I don't know, but it's expensive. But I currently have a sheet, and I move it between whatever game I'm streaming. And I at some point in time will probably buy 2 more sheets. That way, every one of my games has one.
Yeah, I've wondered about doing that with streaming and reflection of light and whatnot. If it helps
It
with
does help.
like on the playfield cam and stuff like that too.
It does, and it definitely takes some of your reflection out of it too. Like if you see yourself in it, how do you clean it? You clean it with anything but Windex, so it has to be an ammonia-free cleaner.
Oh. It's
Where
got a
can we
film
find
on it or
Invisiglass
something.
in Canada? I don't know. Will
Well,
CoinTaker
you're
ship
gonna-
to Canada?
No, you can get it at well, it looks like you're in BC, so I would contact Nitro Pinball, or in the East Coast you can get Invisiglass from Player One as well. They will order it
Oh,
for
you can, eh?
Yeah.
They are awesome, and what is cool about Invisiglass though is it's once you buy it, it'll fit on any game. So if you go to sell the game, you can pull it, put your normal sheet back in, and it just goes to the next one. So I agree. Seraph's saying
idea.
it makes a huge difference. I agree. Now that I have it, I would consider adding it. Like it's one of those like crap. I'm stuck. Like you're gonna want to get more than one. I did want to bring this up, tools, and if you just go to Pinball Life and click on tools, these are a lot of the things people don't think about. But yes, the magnetic tray is a must. This bulb replacement tool works really well to get some of the bulbs that are below the playfield in some of the older games. The hollow magnetic nut drivers are awesome. You can buy them here. You can buy them at Home Depot. You can buy them wherever you want. They all work well. I actually bought one of these screwdrivers from them because it was long, and I love it. Like it's an awesome screwdriver. Yes, and they're magnetic tips. Super lube, use it. Lube those spinners. You can't have enough microfiber towels. Those work really well. And then this stretch wrap, if you go to ever sell a game, using that to wrap the head instead of a ratchet strap is awesome. Seraph, yes, the leaf switch adjuster is really a very, very useful tool in adjusting the leaf switches and the gap there. You can kind of do that in and just give it a tiny little bend, kind of micro adjusters. This is something I just recently bought, and I highly suggest it. Interior game blade protector sets. This is one of those things I wish I would have bought a long time ago. They're made out of thin plastic, and they slide over so it'll protect your art blades. Or now I have mirror blades. I have mirror blades in my Deadpool now, and the last thing I want is those things to be scratched when you go to lift a playfield. So the fact that these are they're cabinet protectors, you slide it in before you lift a playfield, and it just peace of mind that you'll never scratch your art blades or your mirror blades. I mean, $40 is $40. I get it, but like now that I have mirror blades, it's a must. Like because whatever the mirror blades cost you, the moment you scratch them, you're going to be pissed that you didn't buy these.
Yeah.
So
And there are certain games that are really, really tight once you get those mirror blades in there, and you can feel it rubbing along the glass. And if you have just those little things in there, you'll protect it for sure. And,
it's definitely worth getting. I mean, all these tools are very, very useful. The ones that stand out, flipper gauge, you got to have one. You got to have one. This is something new I bought. This soft socket, no scratch leg bolt socket. And two reasons I bought it. One, I wanted a dedicated ratchet with its own bolt, like socket head. And just trying to price that out was actually kind of expensive. So this is perfect. $5 whole, but it's plastic on the inside. And one, it won't scratch any of your powder coating. But two, what I really like about it is because it's plastic and you're tightening a metal bolt, if you start to get to that point where it starts to slip inside that plastic, it's almost like a good reminder of you probably don't need to tighten it anymore. Like it's probably tight enough. So I really like that. And I went ahead and bought this wrench. I mean, you can buy any wrench for it, but now I have like a dedicated wrench and socket specifically for pinball, which I really like. Bought art blades for Hobbit and ripped them the first time. Yeah, Mervin, it's the worst, man. These protectors are a must. Came free with GNR. Really? Pin left. They are a keeper. I didn't know that. That's awesome if they came in that. That's really cool. Did you get like a CE or something? Yeah, the protectors are incredible. Cactus came with flipper gauge perfect. They need to make a metric conversion slightly larger for yes, I've run into that. Yes, where you need a slightly bigger bolt if you powder coat your leg bolts. So those are just a few basic tools that I find myself reaching for a lot. Another thing that is a must-have. Oh, it came with the GNR blades. That's brilliant. If you buy the art blades separate. Yes. The other thing that, and I'm assuming you guys all agree with me, must have. These are great stocking stuffers. Freaking pin gulp, man. You gotta have a pin gulp. I don't know. Mike? Do you have one on every one of your games? Yeah, there they are. You know, so he has the original. This model.
Is the original. I've had these for a few years now.
Yeah.
They do make a version 3, which is
Right
all plastic now, I think, right?
I actually have the version 3 and I really like it. And the reason I
cheaper
have
too. It's cheaper.
They're cheaper.
They're also cheaper. Yeah.
They're cheaper, and you can then decide which side of the pin you want to put it on before you had to commit. Is this going to go on the right side of my games or the left side?
Mhm.
But this design allows you to move it depending on whatever you want, and they slide out. So if you want to move your games a little closer together, they just slide off. Awesome. You got to have them. You got to have them. You got to have a place to set your drink. Otherwise, people are going to set it on your game. So that's why in my mind, it's like, I got a new pinball machine. You got to have a pin gulp. Got to have a shaker motor. If there are art blades available, I'm getting art blades, maybe mirror blades. I'm looking at potentially replacing the speakers in the game. I'm looking at a speaker light kit for the game. I'm got to do the Pinmonk, the silent flipper fan. I might have to get the flipper cooling fans. You know, it's just like, these are the first world problems of buying an expensive toy. And and if you're Hadi, you got to buy the topper, right? I mean, I don't. Once again, I'm talking a lot. Hadi, do you have anything we haven't said yet? Or any other?
That Santa ornament. That was it.
Oh
Everything else,
yeah.
everything
Well, that
that
was your Santa ornament. Okay.
everything that Mike showed is a really great idea, especially those magnetic dishes, man. Those have
You
saved
got it.
me.
Oh God, they're so
Yeah.
great. So
Um,
these are all great things to buy. Definitely write these down. Last other thing, Silverball swag. If you're looking like what are other gift ideas that you could have for the pinball person in your life? Get them a gift card to Silverball swag. There's some really good pinball shirts on here. Not to mention, there's different stuff on here. Hadi has shirts on here, which are really cool. Yep. Triple Drain merch is on here. They are running they are going to do a sale on Friday. And the code for that is BFCM _ 2022. BFCM _ 2022. 10% off. So everything on Silverball swag. I'm assuming he'll post that on Pinside and whatnot. But yeah, definitely check those out. Obviously, that Triple Drain merch is pretty sick, if I have to say so myself. But there's some good just normal pinball stuff. Another good website for that is DD Pinball, which is Double Danger Pinball. This is another merch store. So these are some other really cool pinball related shirts that are kind of cool. So check them out. A bunch of cool designs there. Yeah, so that would be the merch stuff. So yeah, really it's like tools, lighting, Comet Pinball. One thing I really like on Comet Pinball is these matrix, these kits. So the flipper buttons, you can really go down a rabbit hole there and flip. This is the cheapest you're going to see them too, $18.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Yeah.
just, you can swap out all the flipper buttons in all your kits. I put in some purple ones in TNA and really, really like them. The trough lighting, I'm a big fan. Adding extra light. This is actually a matrix strip that goes down in the trough and just helps illuminate that bottom area. You can get them colored, or you can just get a sunlight one and just light up that area. So for $8, definitely, like, it's worth it in my mind. And then another kit that I am a big fan of, for those with tons of cash burning a hole in the wallet, buy the, yes, exactly. It's like once you buy the pinball machine, you'll love it, and then you're gonna want to make it your own and add even more to it. So yeah, Mike, I like these Star Post kits. Those are pretty sick. But this right here, the head lighting kit, this is something on my TNA. I added LEDs behind the back box that actually change with the colors of the speakers. And once I saw that light shine on the back wall, I'm sold. So if you have your game on a back wall, this is just a super simple kit that all it is it adds a little matrix strips to the back of your game, and it shines light on your back wall. So I know, Mike, you got some cool lighting effects already with your LED strips, but this is, I mean, for $9, $10.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, I do
yeah.
the same thing, but I do the undercab where it shines on the floor.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yep. So undercab's another one. I think Comet has those. I know Pinball Life has those. So cool lighting. So yeah, that in my mind it was like you got tools, you have lighting, speaker light kits, sound. You can address the sound. I mean, am I missing anything? I mean, every game has mods. We kind of dove into that. I mean, there's plenty to do. So if you're watching this after the fact and you're like, I'm trying to buy my husband or wife something for their pinball machine, all these stores have like Mezzo mods, everything. They all have very specific mods for each game. You can look at that. Art blades. I don't know. Reach out to me. Like, if you're like, hey, if you're watching this and it's like, my spouse has just got a Led Zeppelin. Do you have any mods you suggest? Like, shoot me an email, justanotherpinball@gmail.com, or anybody. Reach out to any of us, and I think we'd all be happy to suggest different things you can do. So
Yeah, I'll tell you how to spend your money.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There was very little news. This right here is the only news. This right here, as I'm closing my tabs, we get to the one thing people may actually want. Kirk Hobbs, with all these mods, all you need is some decent pinball play. Yeah, Joel, I don't have any. I have nothing I can encourage you on how to play the game better, but I can encourage you on how to make it look better. That's for sure. This is the only thing that was pointed out to me earlier. And if you go on to Stern's website, and you can go to James Bond, view the game, there is a placeholder for this, the 60th anniversary. And if you click on it, there's actually some info here. So limited to 500 machines, but right here. Control the chaos with Odd Job's kinetic spinning disc hat. Survive tactical precision shots against 10 drop targets. Escape Spectre's evil henchman navigating pinballs through 4 fast-flowing optical spinners. And then learn assignments through an in-playfield LCD screen and rack up high scores on the classic style score reels. So what I'm seeing from this, what stood out to me is you're probably not going to get a ton on the back panel, but it looks like this in-playfield LCD screen. Very curious what's going on with that. I'm guessing the spinning Odd Job disc is going to be very similar to, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be like Slash's hat where it's above the disc, or if it'll be like the Tesseract in the old Avengers game where the whole thing spins, or like the lamp on
Totan. Yeah.
But four spinners. I mean, Godzilla has 3, and that, like, to squeeze another one in, I'm assuming there's no ramps, so it seems like any open shot's gonna have a spinner on it, which sounds pretty cool. And then 10 drop targets. Hobbit had 11, which is a wide body. So there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because this is an original design, right? This is not this is not like, because I heard rumors for years that the next sort of kapow or the next big release like this was going to be modeled after the Quicksilver playfield.
No.
So I was thinking to myself, Quicksilver, is there 10 drop targets on this? Is there? No, but yeah, this is a Keith Elwin original design. 4 spinners.
4.
Wow, that's a lot. I don't know that there's a game that has 4 spinners. I know Godzilla has 3, but I don't know of any other game that has 4 spinners. That might be a first.
I don't have that answer for you. Maybe
Yeah.
if there was a Dennis Kriesel or somebody like that in chat, they may be able to pull, one right out of their head. Oh yeah, you're forgetting this. But I don't know. Either way, I'm still excited about this game. It's going to shoot amazingly well. I'm interested about the code because I don't actually know if Keith is involved in the code. So I don't know if we can expect the type. I doubt we're going to expect the level of code that you're going to get in a Godzilla or other Keith games. But we all know it's going to shoot great. We all know it's going to shoot great.
And if you look at that second paragraph, partnering with Eon Productions, Dan Jack, MGM, and Aston Martin, you know there's going to be a car in there somewhere too, right? I mean, you got the Aston Martin,
or at least.
So I know it's featured in the Pro, Premium, and LE. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be at least a likeness or something in the game as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other the Eon production or Dan Jack is, but and it's supposed to feature all the bonds, right?
All the bonds, yeah. There's going to be. It sounds like a licensing nightmare, but we'll have to see.
And a coding nightmare. I mean, how are you going to code all these bonds in it and all these movies? And
I don't know. That's really the only real news that I know of right now. So
I think they've said. So what I heard at Expo from a bunch of different people down there was that the majority of the delays that are happening right now with James Bond in the 60th anniversary edition are all licensing issues. And that's been the delay. Most of the delays that have occurred with that machine have been because of licensing issues.
I think that's the delays with all Bond related things at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think there are some times when you get a licensor like Slash from Guns N' Roses or the band from Rush or that are really invested in the machine and they're on board, and then you get a licensor like the Led Zeppelin people or like it looks like James Bond where they're very strict and put a lot of rules and stipulations, and there's a lot of delays. I've heard the folks at Disney too. That's been one of the main reasons why, the Star Wars topper was delayed, why the Mandalorian topper took so long to come out, because the folks at Disney are very meticulous and they're very slow to approve stuff as well.
Yeah.
So, it is.
We'll see. Hopefully,
we're patient people in the pinball world. We're patient.
Yeah. I know. I'm hoping. What I like seeing is there are some Bonds. There are some Bond pros that have made it out on location. I know if I really wanted to, I could drive an hour and a half and go up to North End Pub and go play one. But I'm hoping I'll get one to stream within the next, 2 weeks, hopefully. I don't know. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I haven't heard anything. But I'm just hoping to play one, get some experience on it. But, man, it's slow. I did see on Pinside that I think on location they said it was like 0.68, maybe it was 0.64, 0.68. So we're
very early.
It's still early. I mean, it was like 0.52 or something was what it was at the shows initially. So it's coming, but it's gonna be a little while. So, but
we have our launch party for that December 10th, just up in Montreal. They're doing a launch party for Bond. So. They're coming out. They're
nice.
They're
slow, but all right. Well, it is well past midnight. Apparently we can talk about things to buy without any issue. Craig, can you go ahead and hold up your list here? I want to see how long it is.
It's definitely one page here. Well, you can't really see my handwriting with the light, but it's basically an 8.5 by 11, just full. And then I went to the other side of the page and just kept writing and making notes.
Oh, that's great. Sorry, that's all I could say, but you'll love it.
I also wrote down, find out Joel's commission on the metal flippers.
My commission is 0. I am making the only thing I can say with 100% honesty. The only thing I make commission on is merch. So Raw Swag, we make a little commission on merch. And that's it. But I'm okay. I really, the products I spoke highly of tonight, Pinwoofer, the Precision Flipper Kit, all those, I mean, they're awesome. I love them. So I have no problem speaking highly of them. But yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Hadi, you probably need more sleep. I know you were sick, so you probably, but knowing you'll start streaming on your own channel in like 4
Yeah, I'll
minutes.
probably
But
get off and start streaming. No, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I'm hopped up on meds too, so I'm a little out of it. But I'm Hadi, Frisco Pinball. Catch me every Monday on the Pinball Network, twitch.tv/Pinball Network. We play Godzilla, Avengers, or Black Knight. And a new pin is coming next year. I got invoice for it, so I'm excited. Looking at that. And then, yeah, we play virtual physical pinball, playing some retro stuff. It's a blast, again, to see everybody. Make sure you subscribe or make sure you follow the Pinball Network on Twitch and YouTube. You can see a lot of our replays there as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much for being here, especially with the healing process that your body's
Yeah.
currently going through. So
Blast.
yeah, Craig, go ahead, man.
Craig Bobby, I do the Top Stories news segment on the Pinball Show with Zach Meny and Dennis Kriesel, and that airs every Monday on the Pinball Network podcatcher.
Awesome. Thank you, Craig. Sorry for all the money you're gonna spend. Sorry.
Yeah,
about
it's
yeah.
my Christmas list just got
Yeah.
way longer all of a sudden.
Send it to all your friends. I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
buy you some
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it'll be easy. It'll be like, well, if we're gonna do a pinball life order, I might as well throw this in and this and this
That's right.
and the shipping. We got to save on.
I know. What the
Yeah.
hell here?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Craig. Thank you for being here, Mike.
Thanks, Joel.
Mike, go for it, man.
Yeah, you can catch us on twitch.tv/pinballers and Tuesday nights here on TPN. And you can check us out on Facebook at Pinballers, Pinball and Retro Streams, and on Instagram at Pinballers TTV.
Awesome. And yeah, thanks, Mike. I'm curious if you end up getting any if you end up getting a Pinwolf or anything like that. I'll be very curious to see what your thoughts are on that. But,
Yeah, I definitely want to try that. I've not heard it yet. So
Oh, yeah. S Jab, thanks guys. Oh, absolutely. And yeah, and I'm Joel. This is every Wednesday night. I'll be here from 10 to midnight, and then every other Thursday I'm flipping out. Super grateful for Zach and Nicole for letting me stream for them. And yeah, very thankful for you guys. The three of you guys are always willing to do this, and I have a lot of fun with this. I hope obviously all the viewers are enjoying this. And if you're watching this after the fact, we have a good time here, just sitting here chatting pinball and mixing it up. Cell processing, thanks man for being on. But yeah, I started the raid. We're gonna go ahead and raid one of my favorite people, Carl D'Angelo. He is currently doing he's doing his wizard mode challenges. So he's currently doing Indiana Jones. So definitely say hey to him when you hop in his raid. Wish him good luck. And Kirk Hobbs, hope you're doing well, man. Have a great day. And yeah, everybody, happy Thanksgiving. If you're American, if you're Canadian, have a happy Thursday.
Have a happy regular Thursday.
Yeah, European,
NFL football
Australian,
all day
anything.
tomorrow. NFL.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm looking forward to it. Watch my Bills.
There we go. Oh, good luck, man.
Yeah.
All right. The raid should happen very, very soon. So there
It's
it goes. All right. If you're still here, have a great night. See you.